If you want more clients, stop chasing them and instead be the person in their corner, even without the sale. Business is relationships, and relationships start with genuine trust and care. Here's what shifted it for me recently, because I was trying all sorts of different things like running ads and just Google ads, Facebook ads, different brochures, leaflets, text, flash sales, and they all kind of worked. But the real shift in my conversion rate has just come from focusing on being a better person and a better friend. It's not the tactics, it's not the ads, it's just little things that have helped continue to build my business. And I think it's what's going to help me scale to the level I'd like. So on my journey of trying to get to what I'm going to say now is 8K a month, I'm going to share this with you and I hope it helps. I've recognized 5 things. They're kind of 5 things or of what you want to do, how you want to make people feel, that have very quickly helped to improve my business, alongside kind of trusting organic content. The first thing, speed of response equals speed of trust. One thing I've always struggled with is replying fast, and I'm still not the best at it, but I realize now that before I used to think that messaging was like when you can. However, it's not very kind, or it doesn't make people feel important if you only message them when you can, because that signals they're not a priority, and people don't want to feel like they're not a priority if they're doing business with you, full stop. It ultimately tells people that they matter to you, and the longer you leave someone on red, the colder they're going to become. So if you can respond within the next 5-10 minutes or instantly, that's going to be best at making people feel heard, feel wanted, and ultimately decide whether they want to be a part of your business. Something as small as that. The second thing is unexpected touch points. If you only message people when you want business, ultimately they're not going to give it. So what I've started doing now is just messaging without an agenda. I'll just see something that whether it's a meme or something that reminds me of them or anything like that, and I'll just message and say, "Hey, saw this, thought you might like it, thought of you." What this does is it actually builds subconscious goodwill. Now, I know it kind of seems like, hey, be a better friend and manipulate people, but I just realized that that's something I'm missing. It's not a case of I'm trying to build subconscious goodwill. I just thought of what that's actually doing, and I'm trying to explain it. Because most people contact when they need something. Don't be that person, and then things will always go better. Because then it shows you actually care about them, not what you want from them. And if I genuinely do care for people and I want to show I care rather than asking them, to join before I care, well, then that's what I need to do. The third thing is that you can't vanish just because you're busy. There's definitely times where I've done way too many sessions per day, like up to 8 sessions per day. And I remember pulling in like 5-6 grand a month. And it was like too many hours, which is one of the reasons I upped my prices. But you need to stay present in people's lives, even when you're in your grind season, because again, that signals that you're a priority. So if you want to make people feel important, then you need to message them. You need to make them feel cared for. And you can't do that if you're too busy. Either that, or you are still messaging and responding in those times. Ultimately, if you go quiet every time you build, you're actually just building a wall between you and the person you want to serve. And your role is to break that down constantly. The fourth thing is to give energy before you ask for it. Engage with their content, celebrate their wins, share opportunities with them. All of these little things are just like actions that genuine people who care will show. Like if you have, as an example, I had a client who stopped after a little bit, who owns a business. And he owns a restaurant and they sell chicken. It doesn't matter what chicken or where it is or anything. I kind of keep a couple of details contained. Recently, I've discovered that a provider of quite cheap chicken, who I've spoken to, that's his business. So I just messaged this guy. It's been a couple of months. Just said, hey, how you doing? I've just recently come across this guy. This is his pricing. Does that help you at all? Does that help your business? It's not a case of, I'm trying to resell in PT. It's just literally, I thought, hey, you might find this useful. And That's the kind of thing that you can do to help maintain you have those lines of contact, because it's never a case of somebody doesn't want your business. 90% of the time, it's going to be a case of it's not the right time. And if you want to stay top of mind for when it is the right time, you need to keep showing you care. Because ultimately, it costs absolutely nothing to clap for someone else. But when they clap for you, it's going to multiply. The fifth thing that is definitely being neglected in this age of technology and just generally everything trying to be systemized and how can we make it more efficient is you actually lose the personal connection. What is that? It's making people feel seen and understood. It is helpful if you can remember personal details, but sometimes it can be a case of just writing little notes or mentioning specifics in conversation, because then it means you're recalling what you remember. It's important to you again, because people remember how you make them feel rather than what you're selling. So if you show you care, if you show that you're listening, if you show that you understand exactly the life they're living and you hear them, that's when you're going to find it easy to sell, because it's not a problem. Like, you've given lots to them generally in life, and that's when you can then make an easy sale. So what you need to do is stop thinking, how can I sell to this person? How can I sell PT? And instead start thinking, how can I give so much to people that they feel more alive knowing me? Because if you focus on the giving, the business will come easily. And I don't just mean giving in fitness terms, I mean giving as a person, because ultimately you are a personal brand first and foremost. But just to clarify, the 5 things you need to do: speed of response equals speed of trust. Have unexpected touch points. Don't vanish when you're busy. Give energy before you ask for it, and make people feel seen. You do that, you'll be a better friend. And watch what happens to your life and your business. As an example, what you could do is, if you know someone who wants to improve their business or is starting as a personal trainer, send them this video, comment their name down below, and see how they respond if you think this is useful. And again, if you find this useful, like, comment, subscribe yourself, and let me know what else I can do to help build your business.